Hey guys, it's been the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin with open box videos. I got these cool Coin Inside envelopes again from PCGS. It's been a while. Now in fairness, I don't know if that needs to be said, but I did have something that was rather large. So this is the first time in a long time that I've sent a GSA in to get certified by PCGS, and they put this big outer casing to it. And it's got the big old PCGS label on the back side. Kind of cool. So let's take a closer look at this bad boy here as we can through 18 inches of plastic. Good thing it's like bulletproof. So I get a lot of GSAs in. I don't know if I want to say a lot, but I've had a lot of GSAs over the last year that I have chosen to not get certified because they just didn't quite make the grade, in my opinion. So, but this one I really liked, and I felt like I think I can make the grade. And when I say make the grade is generally on your common date GSAs, you really need to get kind of a 65 to make it worth getting certified. And I thought this coin was all the way there. And so I thought I would send it in and see how it did. And we actually hit one, right? 1 for 1. Now this is where in the video you say, Ben, quit while you're ahead. And you're right, I should. And I should also mention, though, that there is a kind of a bonus quasi crack out at the end of this video. So, crack outs are what they are. This is technically not a crack out, but you'll know what I'm talking about just in a minute or two here. Next up, I have one of the more rare pennies that you'll see, 1922. And this is the no D, strong reverse. And this coin, you could tell right away, had some type of corrosion to it or what have you down at the bottom. And they mentioned that calling genuine VF details, corrosion removed. Interesting coin. Ah, man, I forgot to tell you. Oh, I'm going to rewind just a second here and say that this GSA currently is around a $600 coin in this market, give or take, and this 22 no D. Well, they jump around a lot because VFs are really expensive coins. The goods are $400. I'd tell you this is probably in the $400 plus range. We'll do a little research to see kind of what some of the ones are trading at that have some damage to them. So I'm going to call this 2 for 2 because I'm calling balls and strikes. So what the heck? Next up, I have this 80S with Champagne Supernova in the sky toning, and a little bit of a PL feel to it. I like the cheek. It's got a little bit of action on it, but not too bad. The back has a little bit heavier toning to it. So at an angle here, it's a little bit dark. In the light, it's pretty nice still. It's especially of course, lustrous around the rims and the edges, where you're getting some of the actual like magentas and stuff in there. And overall, I liked the coin a lot. Now they can be a little bit tougher on ADSs. MS64. I was hoping for a 5 on this coin because I thought it warranted it, but they disagreed a little bit with me on that. But that's okay. I still think it'll get similar money to a 5 anyways, just I think because of the overall eye appeal and tone to it. A real pretty coin in person especially, but I always like it when you get kind of those hints of different colors in there. All right, so now I'm 3 for 3. There you go. When you're making up your own rules as you go along, that's great. This is like, whose line is it anyway? All right, oh, so some of you guys collect these coins here, right? These barber quarters. 1896. Why don't you go ahead and guess what the mint mark is on the back, shall we? That's right. There it is. There's that S mint for the San Francisco Mint. And this coin is super rare. They only made a little bit over 188,000 of these. And you can kind of guess the grade a little bit. My hope for this coin was that it would, get to a real strong level. And of course, also, it does have this little rim issue, which is really funky because it almost looks like a strike through, like if you look at how it's done, because it's only on one side. And so it kind of looks like a strike through, but they called it VG Details Rim Damage. Super rare coin. The rim damage, it's there. I mean, if you're going to call it that, you're going to call it that. I can't complain too much on that one. You know, VG is like a $1,200 coin, so really very expensive piece. It's probably not going to trade at that with the rim damage, but overall, it's got a nice look to it. I mean, you're talking about something with a super strong jawline, ear. You got some, you know, details up into the leaves. You got some pretty strong eye. You even got parsed lips. So pretty cool. Pretty cool coin overall. And you've made it all the way to the bonus section here. We get to talk about this coin here, which NGC decided to not encapsulate because it has an altered surface. That is the NGC's label. Of course, I sent it in to get it certified, and it got in a holder, which is a start. So PCGS graded the coin, and I want you to look at it here. I got my dollar guys coming out, right? And we're going to talk a little bit more about this coin because it's an interesting piece. And they did something to this coin that I think people used to do, but now they don't do as much as they used to do. And a lot of detail here in the wings, the leaves, real strong. Go ahead and tell me what grade this guy is, right? Look at the detail up here. A lot of flat surface stuff, right? So what just happened when you went from your PCG NGC not encapsulated altered surface, and the next thing you know, it's an NGC fine 15 holder straight grade. So let me talk to you about this coin with it. One of the scarcest Morgans in the series, 350,000 minted, but also it seems like a lot fewer remain than some of the other coins with lower mintages, because some of those coins ended up in hoards, right? Like the 85cc. I mean, those were all a hoard coin after the GSAs all came out, right? So this coin here, you know, your fine money is like 1,000 and VF's like 1450, but you may or may not agree with the grade, and you may be looking at it saying, man, look at all the detail. Isn't that really a VF? And you may be looking at what NGC said and called it an altered surface. Now, I disagreed with NGC. NGC did, this is not from being in a holder, mind you. They sent it back in a body bag. Like, that's what the thing came back in, right? So when you look at it, though, when I talk about net grading, which is something that people used to do quite often, which is to say, if a coin had a certain technical grade based on the amount of wear, but it had some other small issue to it that was maybe a distraction or what have you, then at that point they would just kind of knock it one grade. If it was really harsh, maybe a couple grades, and they just net grade it. In fact, you can find some holders from, you know, some of the grading companies would actually just say, you know, net grade on it. This is interesting because this is like the unwritten rules of baseball, where you have a net, what I think is a net grade in a coin that is not really, you know, not really a, you know, problem coin per se. The thing that's maybe most intriguing to me about this whole thing is the fact that NGC called this wouldn't encapsulate it, and PCGS straight graded it, even at a discount. I find that really amazing. And of course, not complaining. Now, the final follow-up question for y'all is, which coin would you rather have? You know, these are a slightly different price point, mind you. Which one for the long run would you rather have? You know, if they were a similar price point, let's just call them both $1,000 coin, which they're not exactly. But you know, which coin you want for the long run, right? Let's just pretend. Let's just date to date instead of this coin to this coin. A nice 96S and VG, which bids at 1,200, or you know, a nice fine 89cc, which bids, you know, at a similar price point. All right. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Leave your comments down below. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.